Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. The case that I'm going to be looking into today is quite a disturbing one, to say the least. It is of a Canadian murderer called Luka Magnotta, and you'll just see how disturbed this individual was. Yeah. This case was suggested by Brittany, so thank you for that. I appreciate any suggestions you guys have, and of course, if you have any more, please do let me know. Luka Rocco Magnotta was born by a different name. He was actually born Eric Clinton Kirk Newman on the 24th of July in 1982 in Ontario, Canada. He was apparently actually named after Clint Eastwood and Kirk Douglas. His mother was called Anna, and from what I can find online, you can find his father's name if you wish to, but for the purpose of this video, I believe he doesn't really like his name being mentioned, and therefore I'm going to leave it out. Again, the information is out there, so you can find it if you wish to, but for the purposes of this video, I'm going to leave him nameless. So, Luka was the eldest of 3 children. He had a younger brother and a sister. The children grew up a very isolated childhood. Now, Anna decided that she was going to homeschool her children. Against their father's wishes, he did not want to homeschool his children, but she did, and she did it anyway. She wanted to homeschool them, but she didn't even graduate high school herself. Why she wanted to do that, I don't know. So because of that, it meant that the children didn't have any contact with children their own age. They didn't really have any friends because they never met, never saw anyone, and it was just very, very isolated. Their mother was also a germaphobe and basically a control freak in a sense. She would often lock her children out of the house. She wouldn't allow them to use public restrooms. On one occasion, she even chucked their pet rabbit outside for it to freeze to death, probably because of germs. I don't know why she did that, but she did. And sometimes, even by the age of 7, Luka was made to wear nappies. So there you go. His father has admitted that he had a drinking problem because of all the issues he had with his wife and kids at home, and he eventually decided to separate from Anna. Apparently Anna also had a drinking problem too. When they separated, Luka was about 11 or 12 at the time, I believe, and after actually separating, his father began hearing voices. He began getting very angry and sort of having depressive episodes, and in 1994 was diagnosed with schizophrenia. As a result of his father leaving, Luka would later move in with his grandmother Phyllis, who apparently, along with his younger brother, would abuse him for his effeminate tendencies. Luka was bullied a lot by other kids. He didn't graduate high school, and he began showing signs of schizophrenia like his father. Luka was gay, and he began doing gay porn on websites and things like that, and also began to become a gay escort. He was even apparently a stripper at one point in his life, although I don't know when that was. In 2004 was the first kind of real time that Luka got in trouble with the law. He made friends with a 21-year-old woman who had the mental capacity of a child, and he kind of manipulated her into applying for credit cards for him, which he racked up a debt of $10,000 on that he wasn't going to pay back. Police found out what he was doing, and they charged him with fraud. Luka pled guilty to 4 fraud charges in 2005. Just before he was sentenced, his attorney showed the courtroom a medical report on Luka's mental health. And the judge turned around and said that he had some serious mental health issues and that he would always need to take medication, otherwise his life was going to get messed up. He got a 9-month community service and a 12-month probation. And let me tell you, his life certainly would get messed up. Very, very, very messed up. In 2006, Luka got into a relationship with a transgender woman named Barbie, which, in her own words, turned out to be one of the weirdest relationships she'd ever been in. She said that he was nice and he was loving and romantic, but I don't know why she said why it was weird. She just said it was one of the weirdest relationships ever. After dating for around 7 months, they split up, and that is when he changed his name from Eric Newman to Luka Magnotta. I know I've referred to him as Luka throughout this entire video, even though he's only just changed his name, but that's his name now, so that's why I did it. Anyway, he's now called Luka Rocco Magnotta. Luka's dad said that when he was 19 or 20, he was worried about his behaviour and referred him to a psychologist. Apparently, he was later hospitalised because he heard voices, according to these medical records that his father has. Like, he has a hold of these, and that is what they say. Luka decided that normal life was not for him and that he wanted to be someone. Not long after that, he began getting cosmetic surgery, a lot of it. He kind of became addicted to it, like a lot of people do. He wanted a modelling career. He wanted to be this famous person, and he wanted to just be beautiful and famous, I guess. All he cared about was his looks. His looks were his number one thing that he cared about. He didn't care about anything else. And he self-admitted that, pretty much. In September of 2007, these rumours began spreading. It was about Luka actually dating a woman called Karla Homolka, who was actually a murderer. She and her husband had killed 2 teenage girls, and she had been in prison and served time for that. And then these rumours started spreading that he was involved with her. Now, he came forward to say that, bearing in mind, he loved being in the public eye and loved being on camera. And now, guess what? That's exactly where he is, because all these rumours are flying by and he's coming forward saying that they are destroying his life, that he's had death threats, he's had to move houses, and that basically as a result of this, his modelling career was suffering. He felt like his reputation was ruined. And as I've said, all along he wanted attention, and now he was getting it. It would later come out that even though he claimed that these rumours ruined his life, he was probably most likely the one that actually started them. And it gave him what he wanted, because he was back in the public eye again. So why wouldn't he have started them? He also made numerous YouTube accounts and would talk about himself, and then make more YouTube accounts and comment about himself, talking about himself. Yeah. He even made his own fan pages because, I don't know, nobody else would, I guess. He made his own Wikipedia page, which was taken down. He battled twice to try and get this page to stay up, but he basically lost that battle and Wikipedia just took it down. I mean, he's got a Wikipedia page now. He mentioned in 2 of them actually, but I guess not for the reasons that he assumed he would get one, and not for any of the right reasons, like, at all. That was in around 2008. By 2010, his online ramblings and things seemed to be going along a darker path. And let me just say, a much darker path, because this video came out just before Christmas that year. It was titled One Guy, Two Kittens, and it started trending all over the internet. Now, of course, this video was taken down, but as probably many of you know, people copy it, people, you know, spread it all around, and it spreads like wildfire. So it showed a man whose face was concealed and 2 kittens, and these kittens were put into a bag, and that is as much as I'm going to say on it, because it's disgusting and there's no 2 ways about it. It is cruel and it is horrific, and I'm not getting into it, but you can guess probably what happened. Animal rights activists jumped on this video. Again, it was taken down by YouTube very quickly, but it spread like wildfire. So they found out about it and they began investigating it. They wanted to find this monster who had done that to 2 poor innocent little kittens. They went on a manhunt to track Luka down, and they did an amazing job. Like, the internet sleuths out there, just, they absolutely nailed it, and they nailed him. Well, the police didn't really do anything about it, but they tried at least. Some say that they even did a better job than the police in some cases. So this Facebook group was created. It was called Find the Vacuum Kitten Killer for Justice. Not really the best name in the world, but, you know, they had the right idea. 4,000 people joined. It was adminned by a former US Army guy called Ryan Boyle, and it got a lot of traction. Luka also joined that group, obviously under an alias. He wanted to keep track of everything. Like I said, he loved being talked about and being in the spotlight, even though they didn't know it was him yet. But they quickly did find out who it was. A reward of $5,000 was posted, you know, for any information leading to capturing who had done this. It wasn't really that hard to find him though, because Luka had posted a picture of himself with the kittens previously. I believe his face was blurred out, but in his background he had all these personal items that people did manage to track down to him eventually. Animal activists compiled tons of evidence against him, basically proved that it was him beyond reasonable doubt, but the police did nothing about it really. And that is sad because I truly believe that animals should have more rights than they do. I know, like, it's a bit of a controversial issue, but I just think people are so cruel to animals, and it's really not fair. They're innocent and they deserve better from us. So I honestly wish that more is done on animal rights, but that is another story for, I guess, another day. A year later, he posted more videos. Basically, they believe that it was him taunting them. He knew that they knew who he was and that the police had done nothing about it. And it's just horrific what he did. This person is just so evil and really, really bad. It also would escalate from killing kittens and cats and animals. And let's just say that he wasn't done with his videos just yet. So on the 15th and 16th of May in 2012, there were these rumours going around the internet about this new video that people should watch called One Lunatic, One Ice Pick. At this point, the video hadn't even been posted yet, but Luka, because he was the one that did it all, is trying to drum up hype for it. And he's just trying to put it all out there in all these different places so that people want to watch it when it comes up. And people are intrigued by it. So after being online like all the time and drumming up all that attention, all of a sudden he just stopped posting and his online presence vanished. Then a 33-year-old man called Jin Lun seemingly vanishes. The people that are very close to him start to get worried because they can't get in touch with him and they haven't heard from him. He was supposed to go into work on the 25th of May in 2012 and his boss was a bit suspicious when he didn't turn up. 2 days later, after hearing literally nothing from him, his friends decided to go to his apartment. 2 days after that, he's actually reported as missing to the police because he has not been seen since the 24th of May and he's not been heard of since then. His friends last received a text from him at about 9 p.m. that night, but then there was just nothing after that at all. He and Luka had actually began dating in 2012, you know, and then he just simply vanished from the face of the earth. They also would later uncover some CCTV footage that showed Jun Lin going into Luka's apartment with Luka. So on the 25th of May, which is the day after that Jun Lin was last heard of, a video is released. The video that all that hype had been drummed up about, called One Lunatic, One Ice Pick. It was an 11-minute video and it was released on a website called Bescore, I believe. And it depicted a man tied to a bed frame where he was brutally murdered. And I am not getting into the details of it. The title pretty much gives you a good idea as to, you know, the circumstances as to how he was murdered. And it was all done on camera. His body was eventually dismembered. Things were done to it that are just, I'm not even going to mention. So if you want to look into it, go right ahead. Let's just say they were sick and disturbing things. And we'll leave it at that. So the video came out. And the police didn't think it was real. I mean, who would? Who would think that literally an 11-minute video of a man being murdered and dismembered, etc. was real? They thought it was a hoax. They thought it was, I don't know, like some sort of film, short film, made up, fake, totally fictional. If only that was the case. People reported it from the website. People reported it to the police from everywhere. But they just didn't think it was real. So I guess they kind of ignored it. Well, that was until a janitor found a torso inside a suitcase which had been dumped outside a Montreal apartment building on this pile of garbage that was waiting to be taken to the tip. That was on the 29th of May. This janitor had apparently first seen it on the 25th, so it had been there since the 25th, but there was a ton of garbage and it hadn't been taken because of that, which I guess is very lucky. Then at 11 AM on the 29th of May, a package was delivered to the national headquarters of the Conservative Party of Canada. Stained with blood, had a disgusting smell coming from it, and it was marked with a red heart. Another package containing a left hand was intercepted at Canada Post pressing facility, and that was addressed to the Liberal Party. After searching the scene where the suitcase was found, police recovered numerous things. They recovered human remains, they recovered bloody clothes along with papers that identified the suspect, as well as sharp and blunt objects in the back alley. Footage from surveillance camera inside of that building showed A suspect bringing out numerous garbage bags, putting them in the bin, and the images matched the suspect who was captured on video at the post office at where those packages were sent from. At 11:33 p.m, they went on to search Luka's apartment. He'd been staying there for about 3 months, but it was now empty and he had left. Police found blood in the apartment. They found it on the mattress, on the table, in the bathtub, amongst other places. Inside one of the closets, it had been written in red, "If you don't like the reflection, don't look in the mirror. I don't care." On the 30th of May, it was confirmed that all of these body parts that they've been finding that had been sent in the post and things, which is just disgusting, all belonged to the same individual. The suspect in the case was quickly identified as Luka Magnotta, who was already on the run at that point. He just got out of there. Bye-bye. A note was found with the package sent to the Conservative Party saying 6 body parts had been distributed and that the perpetrator would kill again. The other 3 packages had notes in 2, but the police didn't release any info on those. So they had issued a warrant for Luka's arrest, but he was already on a plane. He was already out there. He was on his way to Paris. And whilst in Paris, he was partying, you know, living his life like he hadn't just murdered somebody and filmed it all. The police managed to track down the hotel that he was staying at, but by the time they got there, he had gone again. After avoiding the police, he eventually got on a Eurolines bus that was heading for Berlin, Germany. It wouldn't be until the 4th of June in 2020 that Luka was finally caught. The circumstances surrounding his capture, just incredulous. Like, it kind of made me laugh. I shouldn't laugh, but it kind of did, because he is just so insufferable. He literally was caught in an internet cafe in Berlin reading articles about himself. Like, seriously. Unbelievable. A man spots him, realizes that, hey, that's a wanted guy, and he flags down a police car, thank the Lord, and he's then arrested. Luka gave fake names to the police, pretending that he wasn't who he was, but eventually he had to let them know that he was Luka. And also, his fingerprints didn't lie, you know, so that gave it away too. He would be kept in custody until the 18th of July when he was extradited back to Canada. In the meantime, while he's in custody, on the 5th of June 2012, a package containing a right foot was delivered to St. George's School, and another package containing a right hand was delivered to Falls Creek Elementary School. It was confirmed that both packages were sent from Montreal. On the 13th of June, the 4 limbs and torso were matched to John Lynn, using DNA samples from his family. Then on the 1st of June, the police followed up on an anonymous tip where they recovered at the edge of a small lake in Montreal's Angrington Park. Now, the judge, what a guy, or girl, I don't know which one it was, but basically, because Luka thrived off media attention and that was all he wanted in life, the judge did not want to give him that at his trial. They didn't want to give him any more media attention, and so they barred all media from it whatsoever. Hats off to him, because he would have been in his element, and, you know, he didn't want to give him that, which is amazing that he didn't get more of what he wanted. Of course, Luka pled not guilty. Like, why would he not? His trial lasted 12 weeks in total. 6 psychologists were brought in overall. He was diagnosed with borderline personality disorder, paranoid schizophrenia, amongst a few other things. His defense, of course, argued that he wasn't responsible for what he did at the time, that his mental health issues, you know, were causing him to do all of this, and he didn't know that what he was doing was wrong. Same old story. With a lot of people, you know, with mental health issues, you know, it is true. But there's also a lot of people who suffer from mental health issues who know exactly what they're doing. And Luka was one of those people who knew exactly what he was doing. And that is what the jury found. They found that despite his mental health issues, he knew exactly what he was doing that day. And he just didn't care. Luka Magnotta was sentenced to life in prison for the murder of John Lynn. He would be liable for parole after 25 years. And he also got 19 years for other charges to be served concurrently. Luka also, to this day, still has a very huge fan base, which I do not understand. Like, why? Why? Seriously, why? That's all I'm going to say on that, because I just don't get it. But yeah, he does, apparently. So, that is the end of the case. If you have enjoyed this video, give me a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel to join the pack. And to all my regulars, I appreciate you, as always. Anyway, guys, that's all I have today on the case of Luka Magnotta. Thank you so much for watching, And until next time, bye.